All we want to do is help people to get where they want to go. We got to design to move from an existing situation to a preferred one. And if you move quickly, you can build a whole different business model for yourself. There are changes that are happening on a seismic level right now that we're entering into a possible second wave of the virus spreading, infections. And so we have to really start to think here, and we have to move really fast. So dogma, tradition, these things slow us down, and I think we're ready for it. So where do you start? You need to find an audience that is being ignored right now. And it doesn't take that much to find a group of people who share a worldview on things. And they're saying, hey, does anybody care about us? So we need to give those people some attention, this group. And so what you want to do is you want to dig in. You want to find the gaps. Find the gaps to fill, because they're there and they exist. And if you move quickly, you can build a whole different business model for yourself. And all we want to do is help people to get where they want to go. We got to design to move from an existing situation to a preferred one. And if you guys know anything about branding, if you love branding, there's something I borrowed from UX, which is to know me, to anticipate my needs, make my life simple, look out for me, and reward me. This is what you need to do. And how do you do this? You do this through teaching. And you guys know this expression, teach what you know. And knowing is scary for a lot of people. It sends them into an existential crisis. Like, what does anyone know anyways, right? So I modify that and say, why don't you just share while you learn? So instead of becoming an information hoarder, share your discoveries. Share anything that you have and put it out there and see what happens. This is from the book Rework, to out-teach the competition, because they're busy hoarding all their secrets. And you could do that, and you could be obsessed, and you have all the tools, but it's kind of lonely to play with all the tools. Jim Rohn said something like this: wealth is your ability to convert and transform knowledge and experience. So if you want to make money, convert your learnings to your earnings. Become a documentarian of your work. And we know this. The group of creative people who have gathered here today are very divergent thinkers. We're able to see and connect things that normal, non-creative people can't see. So what we do is when we connect those things, we synthesize them together, because there's nothing new under the sun. And here's the secret. Here's where you're going to make the money. You're going to transform this. You got to go and do something with the information you learned. You got to go and make that product. You got to scrape what it is that you've done. You've got to start sharing and posting and letting go of your fear. So there's this little rule that I have. It's a 2x rule. For every one piece of content you consume, go out and make 2 things. It should be twice as much at the minimum. So when you learn something, reflect on what you've learned. Ask yourself, what was most valuable to me? Or how could I adapt this piece of content for a different audience that's underserved and ignored right now? And then implement it. So consume, reflect, implement, and share.
And there's a lot of people here who are alum who might be listening, who are wondering what to do, how to pivot their careers now that they're either older or of COVID or because of whatever reason. And all I can say to you is, like, you really have to be brave. You really have to let go and get out of your way and understand that you are worthy to share who you are, and that you don't need 100,000 or 1,000,000 followers. You just need the few people that can validate, what you're doing to get to where you need to go. And that's something that you can't replicate unless you go out there and try it. Go build something with someone, go build something with a friend, go build something with your spouse, whoever it is, build something. So whatever you can do, whether it's yoga, meditation, visualizations, whatever it is that you need to do to maintain a higher frequency, you need to learn how to do that and step into your purpose.
I want to share this final thought with you, especially those who have been impacted by this global pandemic. I know this is a tough time. People have lost their jobs. Businesses from all industries are filing for bankruptcy. Schools have shut down, and governments are in disarray trying to contain the virus. Our lives have been turned upside down. Everyone is being pushed to their breaking point. The system has crashed and needs a reboot. Now, history has shown us that in times of great uncertainty, a handful of individuals and companies are able to seize the moment and become the titans of tomorrow. Disaster often precedes opportunity. The window of opportunity is open, but it doesn't stay open for long. Years from now, looking back on this moment, the answers will seem obvious. You'll think to yourself, if I only believed in that idea enough, if I only had pivoted quicker, if I only didn't let fear paralyze me, if only I had acted sooner. Don't let these 3 words, if only I, become part of your future regret. Summon up the courage to take a leap of faith and build the life and business you've always dreamt of. Now is the time. This is your moment. Remember, tough times don't last, but tough people do.